Good morning, everyone. Leah Dixon here from Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. I am live this morning, this foggy morning here, with my monthly card class to go. So if you are new to watching my videos, every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. I go live. I always do some kind of a demo, and once a month on the first Wednesday of each month, I actually run a card class to go. So this month I'm actually featuring a brand new product. It just became available today called Christmas Labels, and it's a full bundle. So I'm going to switch over to my desktop and show you this awesome set, and we'll get started. All right, here we go. So this is the Christmas Labels bundle. It's a beautiful stamp set with some great sentiments on here. And the real eye catcher of this bundle, though, is the dies. These dies are absolutely fantastic. They cut one whole shape, but then have like some little kind of like clippings into them. So here, I'll actually just grab one of my already die cut pieces from our first card. And so in here, these pieces are fully cut out, which means that as you'll see on one of our cards, you can actually snip these and do double layered. So like do an outside color with an inside white for the sentiment and everything, and really have some fun cutting these up and changing their shape and everything. But the sentiments stamp perfectly on here. These two are my favorite. This one, the words actually, well, this isn't quite to size. The images on the front aren't full size, but you can see here, it puts the one word in the center and then the other two words on the sides. And then this one, just with the scrolling and everything, it's just gorgeous. So I'm excited to get crafting with you guys and show you how amazing these dies are and how perfectly they work with the coordinating stamp set. All right, so I'm going to put those things to the side, not too far though, because I need to grab them to grab my sentiments. And I'll show you the first card that we're going to work on today. So this card is a layout that I saw another demo use. And so I just grabbed some Christmas paper instead of, I think she'd used flowers or something. I grabbed some Christmas paper and thought it would be perfect for this stamp set, because the stamp set is just sentiments. There's no images. We need to find a way to grab images some other way, either another stamp set or using designer series paper. All right, so I'm actually going to push these things out of the way and we're going to get started. The first thing we're going to do is actually stamp our whole card front. So I have a piece of real red cardstock here, and we are going to grab the Be Merry sentiment. So I'm going to grab that Be Merry, and I'm going to put it onto a block. So with that on our block, I'm going to get my real red ink, and we are going to start stamping this. Now, hopefully I can stay on the screen while I do this, but still be stamping properly. So I'm going to start with my word Merry up at the top, and that I stamped on an angle, and that sets the angle for the rest of our card. So now I'm going to come in and just stamp the B, and then underneath where those two met, I'm going to stamp the full sentiment. So you can kind of see I'm creating like a brick pattern here, keeping on the same diagonal I started on. And we're just going to go like that and stamp. Oops, I got a little bit on my desktop. Been pretty good up to now. There we go. And so we're just going to keep up this pattern across our whole card front. This is one of my favorite ways to decorate a card front, is to simply create your own DSP with words. It's quick, it's easy, and it looks fantastic. And with a sentiment like this one, where the letters aren't all the same size, it's also very forgiving. You don't have to get them too straight. There we go. A few more here. And come on in there, there, and there. So I could come in here. Actually, I will come in here and just do a little bit more. And same with right there. All right, so that is our card front completely done. I'm just going to wipe some ink up here off my desk. There we go. And so that is our card base. It's all done. I'm going to clean up my sentiment now, and we can move on to the next one. So I see there's a few of you watching. If you want to say hi, I'd love to know who's here. And love to know if you're a demo, if you've already got this set. And if you are not a demo, have you seen our new catalog? What are your favorite things? Was this one on your wish list? So this is, oh shoot, I shouldn't have cleaned that up just yet. We had one more Be Merry to stamp. So we're going to get our sentiment inky one more time. And I totally forgot we need to stamp that right onto our label. So there you go. It's very easy to stamp onto the label, or to stamp this sentiment onto a piece of basic white and then die cut around the sentiment. Both work very well. The sentiments are very nicely sized for the labels. So there we go. All right. So with that done, I'm going to put away that sentiment now, because we're going to need a different one for our next card. And I'm going to show you how we put the rest of this card together. So I have got, I pushed it to the side. There we go. I have got just a layer of basic white, and then I've got some DSP scraps. And I do love this layout because it literally uses scraps. The biggest piece here is 1 inch by 2 inches. Oops, so those are both actually going to go standing tall. So the key here is you're going to keep 2 of your patterns. Oh, hi, Annette. I love this die set. I couldn't pass it up. So the key here is we're going to put 2 of our cardstocks on opposite corners standing up, and then 2 of the same cardstock, or not cardstock, DSP in that spot, and then 2 of the same in that spot. Now these papers, this one is directional, so I had to be careful when I was cutting it to make sure I got it in the right direction. Now I have laid these out, and the next thing I'm going to do is actually grab some dimensionals and pop them up. But I always like to lay out my papers first, just to double check sizing and spacing and all of that. All right, now that I've got them spaced properly, I'm going to put dimensionals on the back, just 2 on the back, and I'm going to come in here and put down my first piece. And so I'm trying to get an equal border top and side. And I'm going to do the same to its matching counterpart, because those 2 are going to kind of be my guide to square up the rest of this. All right. So just like that. I want equal borders top and bottom. Awesome. All right. Then we just go ahead and do the rest. So now this one, we're going to line it up so that it's centered left to right and has the same top border as our holly. And then I'm going to do my bottom one, and you just kind of work your way at it, just making sure everything's lining up. All right, so now this one, down there. And then finally we can do our 2 inside pieces. Oh, hi, Anne. Um, oh, definitely. And Anne, I will be emailing out the replay so you can try and find it here on Facebook or YouTube again, or wait for it to hit your mailbox and watch the replay in the email. So whichever one works for you. For anybody else who's watching, if you do not subscribe to my email list, but would like to get all of my videos sent directly to you, make sure you sign up for my newsletter. I email out once a week for sure. And then more often if there's like sales and important stuff happening. But it's a great way to make sure that you don't miss any of my videos and card class to goes and all of that. Awesome. So now that I've got all those pieces popped up with dimensionals all nicely spaced out, and remember, you can do this with any DSP. The one I'm using, I'll actually show you guys in a minute. I should have showed you before I started gluing. It is the brand new Reindeer Days Designer Series paper, and I absolutely love it. So this is the paper that's also being featured in my Reindeer Days Stamp Camp that I'm offering. Myself and 4 other demos get together with every new catalog and offer a stamp camp with one of the new products. And this time around, we've chosen Reindeer Days. So here is the Designer Series paper for that pack. So we've got the bells, some really nice scenery, some other scenery with gifts, our lights that we're using on this card, but with cute little reindeers on the background, another scenery page, and then trees, the gorgeous holly. I think this is my favorite design in the whole pack, with some cute little reindeers on the back, another scenery page, and some awesome Christmas plaid. So it's a beautiful, like absolutely gorgeous Designer Series pack. So that is our card base. Now this little guy, I'm going to pop on here with dimensionals, but I don't want to get them stuck like over on the side because then I'd have to double down. So I'm going to kind of make sure that they're going to be on top of my card, not off to the side. And then we can flip that over and pop that down. There we go. So that is our card. I mean, we could leave it complete here. I have done 2 extra things. I have taken a piece of basic white cardstock and put it on the inside because real red isn't the easiest color to write on when you're writing inside a card. All right, now you could take another scrap of Designer Series paper and put a strip of it on the inside here just to decorate it all up. I'm just worried I'm going to run out of paper because I've been using up so much of this. So I'm going to hold off on doing that and add it later if I have some extra. And then the final touch on this card, I can't even believe it, sold out in about 15 minutes last night. There will be more coming back in on September 16th, though. And these are the adhesive back peppermint dots, and they are amazing, you guys. They're easy to use. They're very like solid on a card, but without adding too much thickness. And they're adhesive backed, and they're just adorable. So these are also part of our Reindeer Days Stamp Camp. If you are interested in joining us, just give me a shout if you wanted to get the whole collection, because you'll notice the collection isn't currently available because these are sold out. But we do have a plan for dealing with that. And if you want to do just our option 2, which is $69, to get all 10 cards in our stamp camp, just know that the peppermints will ship with your cardstock kit, not with your DSP and your twine. But it's still totally doable because they already have a shipment coming. It just didn't arrive as soon as they had hoped it would. And if you are placing an order with me today to get this card class to go, I actually have quite a few of the peppermints already, and so I will be able to send you what you need to make these cards in your little kit. So you will get these embellishments, just what you need for your cards, as part of your card class to go kit. So there you go. That is card number 1. And in your card class to go kit, you'll actually get the stuff you need to make 2 of this card. You'll need your stamps and your stamp set, the Christmas label stamp set at home. And you'll want the dies too if you want to make even more than 2 cards. I'll only be sending you the dies for 2 cards. But yeah, so that is card number 1. Card number 2 is a beauty. It uses the same designer series paper, the same peppermint dots, the same Christmas labels bundle, but a different sentiment, obviously, a different label. And it also uses the Forever Plaid, oh, that doesn't show up very well on my screen, the Forever Plaid 3D embossing folder. This is a new embossing folder. It's giant, so if you are a scrapbooker, this is actually, what is it? It's 6 by 8, I think, 6 by 8.5. So you can really emboss with plaid a giant, giant piece. So that's not showing very well. I'll show you a piece of cardstock that's already embossed with it, and you can see just how gorgeous that is. So this is probably my most used embossing folder in my craft room right now. And I'll show you how we're going to put this card together. So I'm going to take that embossed layer and glue it onto a very thin mat of crumb cake cardstock, and then we're going to glue that straight to our card front. So not super complicated and fancy here, just getting some interest, some details into our background. All right. One thing I do love about designing with sentiment only stamp sets is that it makes the stamping part really quick and simple, because you're literally just stamping a sentiment, and then we're finding other ways to decorate our backgrounds. And so yeah, this week I've chosen embossing folders in DSP to kind of do the rest of the work, but these dies do all the heavy lifting on the card. They are really the showstopper piece on the card. They're so pretty. All right, so we've got that glued down. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our holly. This is my favorite DSP. We're going to take our holly circle and put a little bit of, well, a few, not a little bit of, a few dimensionals on the back, or in my case, I'm going to cut up the trim on my dimensionals and use those edges. Circles are great for using up edges because the size and shape doesn't matter. You're not trying to sneak it in anywhere specific. Got a lot of space here. So I'm going to grab that. And actually, I was going to show you guys. So because of the second circle, your design, what might be on your circle, could be completely different. So actually, I wanted to show you. This card was laid out with this circle in the top left corner and this circle in the bottom right corner. But if I'm using this one, I'm actually going to reverse that. So you are going to want to look at the circles that you get, well, really just this one, and then make your decision on where things are going based on the reindeers you get on your circle, because they're all going to be different. All right, so I'm going to peel off these dimensionals as well, and I'm going to line this up over here so that this one's down in the bottom right hand corner. So those two circles just go on like that, layered over top of each other. And then my sentiment piece is going to go there. So do you see how with my deers on the opposite side and this little bit of a tree, I didn't want to end up with a label over my deer's face. So instead I just switched sides and we're going to put it over here. So that's what's happening there. Whichever design you get, take a look at it. There's lots of different cute little scenes that I've cut out with those circles. You're just going to put it in the right direction. And then we're going to grab for this one the Merry Christmas to You. We actually have a few different ones that fit on there. We can also do Celebrate the Holidays in All the Ways. And It's a Hot Cocoa Day fits on that one. So I think it's those three that you've got that are meant for this label. So I'm going to use the Merry Christmas to You again. I really like that one. And so I'm going to grab my block, again with the real red ink. And this one stamps really, really nicely, just straight into those openings. So before I put it down, I just kind of take a look, make sure that everything's going to stay in its own little section. And then voila, we've got our beautiful sentiment stamped on there. It is such a nice one. And again, if you're nervous about that one, stamp the sentiment and then grab your dies and die cut second. That works as well. All right, now when I'm adhering this guy, I only want a dimensional on one side. I don't want a dimensional over here. I just want it over here. So what I'm actually going to do is put my dimensional on my card front where I want it. And then on this side, I'm just going to grab my liquid glue and do just a little dab of glue. Now I'll peel my backing off, grab my sentiment, line it up, and that's where I'd like it. There we go. And then push that down. All right, so that one's done. So now obviously when I do my peppermints, I'm going to switch them up just a tiny bit. I am going to do my 2 peppermints over on this side and my singular peppermint up on that side. So they're basically just mirror image cards, and both turn out equally beautiful. So just play around with your image that you get on that second circle. All right, so those are our 3rd and 4th card there. And now our last card is just so magical. It's my favorite die in the set. And with this layout, it just pops. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to show you how I created this 2-color label. It is actually so, so easy. So we're going to put that to the side. I'm going to do the label first, and then we'll put together the rest of the card. So I actually have 2 labels. I have a white label and a black label. We're going to start with the black label because that's where our sentiment's going. And I'm actually going to cut the fun part of this die right off. And I'm doing this before I put my sentiment on, because then I don't have to worry about like trying to get embossing powder and stuff onto this layer with these kind of in the way. Now, I'm not tossing these. These are being saved, and I can use them on another card as like, I could do the reverse image, right? I can put the black ones down on top of a different colored label, and voila, we've got a whole new look. So these are not trash. These are being saved. All right, so tuck those away. And now that we've got our little black label here with none of its fanciness, I'm going to grab my embossing tools kit, grab my embossing buddy, and just get any fingerprints off of that. I'm going to clean up my sentiment and grab a new one. Now, this particular shape has quite a few options. I chose Hope Your Season is Filled with Magic just because I really like that sentiment and I really liked the font. But I think for our second one here today, I am going to grab a different one. So we have a few options for this one. We've got Love and Joy, Hope Your Season is Filled with Magic, and Winter Wishes. So I think I might do Love and Joy for this one just because it creates a little bit of a different look. So let's grab that. Love and Joy. And oops, we'll pop that. Nope, that's too small. We'll pop that onto a block. I'm going to grab my Versamark for this now. And I'm going to ink this up. So I love it because, I mean, you could totally take any sentiment and stamp it diagonally on here, but these ones are already kind of done with that diagonal feel to them. There we go. So the ends kind of line up straight instead of on a diagonal, which is just awesome. All right, so now I'm going to get my tweezers so I can hold this without getting my fingers in the way and just give this a little coating of embossing powder. All right. Okay, now before I go ahead and emboss this though, I'm going to come in and wipe up any oh no. So if you accidentally wipe away too much, just go ahead and put it back. And I'll be a bit more careful with this. So I am really cleaning up around this. Even though I used my embossing buddy, I don't think I wasn't taking my time with it. And I do find that white on black is one of the hardest to emboss because every little stray speck really shows. Okay. I either had too much coffee this morning or not enough. My hands are a bit jittery with this. Now, when it comes down to really tight spots, you can either go get yourself a smaller paintbrush and do that, but I also find that using the pointy end of your Take a Pick tool, you can literally come in and pick up like singular grains, and you can either pick them up and take them away, or sometimes I just try and push them in to what I'm embossing so that it just adds to it. So just coming in and let's Take Your Pick tool in the center here where we want that really clean, but there's no way we're going to get paintbrush in there without wrecking everything. So we can come in and pick up singular grains. I'm being a little bit picky with this because it's black. All right, just a few more. All right. So yesterday was the first day of school. It was so nice to be back and seeing the kiddos. Also so nice to have a day off today. But I am excited to go back for Thursday, Friday, and get to know this new group. There, I'm happy with that. So with that all cleaned up, we're now going to get our heat tool and emboss that. I am going to hold it with my tweezers because I don't want to burn myself as I'm doing this. Okay. And now I have the glass mat here. This is available through Stampin' Up, and it's great because it's heat resistant, so I can emboss straight over top of this. All right, so there we go. We have our sentiment embossed now. and I am actually going to glue this straight down. You could also use dimensionals and pop it up, but I'm going to just actually glue mine down and then pop up the whole label afterwards. All right, so now the way I cut this label so that the inside was separate, you can do that with our other labels as well. You'll see the natural kind of trimming points and be able to cut out different layers just so easily on these. All right, so that's that. Now we get to put the card together. Oh, I guess I didn't need to put away my glue. Next step is to glue our red plaid, again made with the Forever Plaid 3D embossing folder. And we're going to take that and glue it to a basic black layer. All right. So now if you're loving these cards, part of the kit that you get if you place a $60 order with me using my host code is you'll get all the stuff to make this, but you will also get a printable PDF that has all of the dimensions and instructions, and a link back to this video so you can watch it being done as well if you're more of a visual person. But you will have all your cutting measurements if you wanted to make more and more of these after. All right, so now I'm going to put that there. So my bow is going to go about there. So I like to just use my thumb to hold a piece in place with enough to tie a bow. And then I'm going to wrap my twine around twice and then pull that out and oh, where I put my paper snips. I must have left them at my other table. There we go. All right. So I've snipped that off, and this twine that I'm using is our brand new Real Red and White Baker's twine, and it's my favorite kind of twine. I don't know why I like red and white twine so much, not just for Christmas, but like for literally anything. I just think it's so pretty. So I was super happy, and this is part of that Reindeer Days Stamp Camp as well, is the twine, and it, well, last time I checked it was still available. I hope it stays that way. So there we go. So I made my little bow. I'll trim those up in a moment, but I want to get this on here first. So we're going to put this on with dimensionals. Now, I think that's actually a bit close, so I'm just going to sneak it over a bit. There we go. And I'm going to put my dimensionals on the back of this, but kind of up and away so that they don't interfere with, oh, there's my snips. So they don't interfere with the twine. So I'll just cut up a bit more of my trim here. So just going to run those along the edge just before the slit there. That way they're up and out of the way. Okay, awesome. So peel those off. Pop this down. And so this one, I am trying to keep the edge straight. That way it keeps our diagonal. Now I can trim up the ends of my twine. Oops. There we go. All right, now this layer can get attached to our card base, and so we're literally just gluing it down. If you wanted to use dimensionals, you totally could. I am always a little bit conscious of keeping a card flat enough that it will be nailable, so I tend not to do too many layers of dimensionals. All right. So center that. And then the finishing touches on this card are to add a few more peppermints. So let's grab some here. Now this sentiment is a little bit different. So where I place my peppermints is going to be slightly different than on my other card. In fact, I might even place just a few less, because this one doesn't really need as much space filled in. maybe, where do I want to put these? Maybe I'll do these ones down here, and I won't actually use less. I'll just place them completely differently though. All right. Love and joy, just like that. All right. And that is the third card completed. So I'll show you, if you make a purchase with me and grab this card kit to go, let's move those out of the way, you'll end up with stuff to make 2 of each of our 3 designs. And they're just such fun, pretty cards, and uses just the most fantastic labels and sentiments with that Christmas labels bundle. So I think that is it for our card class. A few things you're going to definitely want to go check out the Stampin' Up! Website. Our new mini catalog went live today, so all of that's orderable. We have 2 new Christmas kits that are available. One of them's like a card keeper box with a beautiful blue pine tree pattern on it, and then cards to put in it, of course. And then the other one is actually a Christmas ornaments kit, which looks really cool. It's got these like gold rings and then all the stuff to decorate in them and little pine cones, and just adorable. We still have our Christmas wishes kit that I showed while I was away in Armstrong. And then we have a whole new scrapbooking line, including a Christmas scrapbook kit, a wintry snowflake scrapbook kit, an autumn scrapbook kit, a Halloween scrapbook kit. So lots of stuff, and some new 2-tone cardstock that has the white core in it. So when you tear it, you have that white layer exposed. So yeah, there's so much new stuff happening with Stampin' Up! Right now. So check that out. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me or email me, and I'm happy to help. All right, have a great day, and I'll see you next week. Next week, I'm just going to be doing a quick Christmas card, just solo card demo. So I'm excited to see you and share that with you. All right, bye everyone.